morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com, here with your Wednesday market webcast. Okay, we continue to consolidate. You can see here on the daily chart, it was a decent range yesterday. It's about 26 handles. We have the Fed today at 2 o'clock. That's going to matter. You can see early yesterday we made the move down to 0.1 half. They actually made matching lows down there. That was sufficient for me as far as a test of the daily mid-band. We spent a lot of time in yesterday's webcast talking about what would the scenarios be if we went down to test weekly pivot, since that's pretty likely to happen the first couple of days of the week. We did that in the morning. There's your low. And what ended up happening was we traded down below. They couldn't hold it as resistance. So the first scenario we talked about did not come to pass. And you had to respect the fact that they were unable to hold it as resistance, and it became a buy. So for us in the room, we had we caught the short down, we caught a long on the upside, and we were able to, carve out an okay day. It was choppy in the afternoon. You got a little whippy there at the end, which has been pretty typical of the tape. It didn't do much last night. I didn't really expect that it was going to. As I said, the Fed announcement is today at 2 o'clock. There'll be enough volatility to go around for everybody once that happens. What I would like to see with regard to the Fed is if the reaction is big, does it take out the all-time high? Do they fade a move up into that area? Does the roundy weekly pivot and wherever we end up with that pre-FOMC price, which has served us so well, does that act as support or resistance? So, I will give you guys the Fed speech. Don't game the Fed. Don't game it. And what I mean by that is don't come in at 158 or 159 and start telling everybody, well, I think the reaction is going to be ultimately lower or ultimately higher. You don't know what the reaction is going to be any more than I do or anybody else. The better way to handle it as a trader is to get the number, see the reaction, and then once the reaction range is defined, trade off of the reaction range. Why? Because risk is defined at that point. You know where you're wrong. You're either making higher lows or lower highs, and there's an area off the reaction range that if it's converted, well, you need to be on the other side of the trade rather than just throwing some contracts at it before the number comes out and hoping that you're right. If you're right, you'll always pull that trade off early because you just got stuck. You just got away with sticking your hand in the cookie jar. And if you're wrong, you're going to ride it because it's more about being right than it is about trading, and that will turn into a disaster every time. That's how little trades before the Fed turn into gigantic 10-ad swing trades that, end up wrecking people's accounts. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Let the move play out, react to it accordingly, and then trade it. You can trade anything you want if your risk is defined and you have a stop. You really can. As far as the open goes, daily pivot 1475. Hourly mid, 16 and change. Volume weighted average price, 5-minute mid, our proprietary moving average, all in the 17 area. Right about where we are now. So for me, does the Globex low hold up? 1375. You got a high there, 2075. Who's going to win these 7 handles? And we may not get the answer to that question until 2:01 p.m. And if that's the case, my strong suggestion to all of you is don't overtrade. Let it come in, let it work. Don't make your broker a hero. And then, after 2 o'clock, see where the vol is. Now, they may want to walk it up or walk it down into 2 o'clock. That's great. That we can trade. But if they want to put us on a shelf and just chop it up into 2 o'clock, my suggestion is you don't do anything at all. Just sit back, save your commission, save it all, and trade it too. All right. Take care. More stuff out today. Trade them well. Come check us out. I'll talk to you soon. Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princeton Trader. Check us out on Facebook and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade 'em well.